imagine yourself not only trying to renovate a house, but actually trying to renovate an entire city. Hi, I'm Richard Whalen, owner and broker of the Imagination Brokerage. I'm really excited here to be recording in the beautiful East Cleveland Public Library with my good friend and business associate here, Mike Farrington, one of the best general contractors in the Cleveland area. Mike, say hi to everybody.
How you doing? Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Mike, let's talk a little bit about how we met, or rather how you first met Dulce, who would later kind of like end up becoming my business partner. Let's kind of like walk me through the timeline, the process, how you guys first met, what your first impressions were.
Sure. The way that we first met was I was following a wholesaler on Instagram, and he paid like $30,000 to have like these ads go through, and it kept spamming my phone like
Sure,
every day, like 5 times a day, and to the point where I was like, oh man, this is crazy. So make a long story short, I finally went there, and I was like, let me check this place out, let me see what it's about. And when I walked in there, I saw Dulce. She was covered in paint. She was looking like she was working really hard and diligent on something. And then I was like, wow. I was like, I'm interested, So I started loud talking.
No, she's cool. Like, there's definitely something about her. I mean, first of all, just the fact that when I remember when my real estate agent here, he was at some like private club or networking thing, and he met her, and he said, hey, I just met this amazing woman named Dulce Garcia. And I was just like, there's a Dulce Garcia in Ohio? Like, she's gotta be, gotta be something.
We had a business meeting. We were out. We actually met. We were there at the same time when we met. Yeah, definitely. So I remember when we actually met your business partner that put us in contact with you. And then we had like basically like a meetup in his basement.
Oh, that's right. You were on that first Zoom meeting.
I was there since the beginning. I was there for every introduction. So it's pretty wild how the world works.
Gosh. And it's already been it's been about a year and a half now, I think, since that first.
It doesn't feel like it.
No, I know. Well, I mean, in some ways it feels like it was just a couple months ago. In other ways it feels like it's been like a decade. It feels like we've been working together forever now.
Right. Yeah. Like when things work out and people have good energy and good, I don't know, everything going along, it moves, it feels like it moves very quickly.
The momentum and the action and all that draws more momentum and action, And I mean, so far we've been we've been so incredibly lucky. Some of the opportunities we've been given, and this, by the way, this whole thing is a practice session, essentially, in the venue where we're going to be meeting some of the political leaders of East Cleveland. That basically Dulce, through her incredible networking, was able to get us a chance to meet with the interim mayor and just other people that are real change makers here in East Cleveland. And so I feel incredibly honored and blessed to be working with Dulce and working with you.
Thank you.
People who like genuinely care about this community and are trying to make a positive difference here.
Yeah, it's all about making a positive change for our children and for the people in this community, because what's better than doing good, and they need it. So it's really good to be in a community like this, and it's all about making a positive change, and we're here for the people. We have a blank canvas here, and we can create something really special with the right type of investments and structure behind it, with smart people.
Well, and people with the right intentions too, like there are a lot of slumlords and scumbags and predators and vultures that, try to prey on cities like this.
That's not what we're looking for. We want people with good morals and integrity, and that genuinely want to stay and live in this community and be a staple in this community. And we're not trying to push out any of the people that are already in this community. We're trying to make it inclusive, and so that they are not displaced. This is not like a gentrification where you bring in high-priced I don't know, like rentals or
Yeah.
buildings, and then
Right,
the
of
people
course.
that are here now have they can't compete economically.
Right.
This is inclusive. This is let's make something that's very nice and medium range with high quality, high finishes. Yeah,
something attainable.
That they can then transition into, hey, look, here's a new house for you.
Right.
Okay, there you go. Here's a clean, fresh start. You guys, let's try to do something good for the community. And we need it not just with the housing, but all the way around economically with economic stabilities.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Mike and I, along with Dulce, were just recording yesterday at our house on Elm Street that we just finished the renovation on. And, so if you, the audience, haven't seen it yet, I encourage you to, there's probably a link down below on to check out that video. But, I think this whole project seems to just go so far beyond just real estate and investment questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like, and I didn't really realize that right away myself. I mean, I've always kind of, been somebody that tries to be ethical and tries to be, I remember my first investment deal in Ohio, 4 or 5 years ago at this point, there was like a single older lady that was, still living on the property. And, I emphasize to everybody, all on the process, like we're not like kicking her out on the street. You know what I mean? We're going to give her as much time as she needs to be able to find it, someplace like someplace else to live, or if she can get any assistance to be able to continue living in the same place, like that's great. And so I allowed her to keep living on the property for I think 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Even at like a substantially reduced rent. I paid for her movers to help her out. She didn't have a whole lot of support from family or anything like that.
Wow.
So, I really tried to take care of as much of that as possible. And, over time, I feel like behavior like that sort of carries and like attracts the right kinds of people to, for me to want to work with. And now I feel like pretty much from top to bottom, all the people that I work with, that we work with out here are pretty genuine people. Like no one's trying to, just take something for themselves and run.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, that's not win-win.
That's really important to me. Yeah.
We're looking for win-win. When we win, the community wins, and vice versa. When the community wins, we win. And it's all about reciprocity and helping. And if the community is already in a bad state, a depressed state, it makes no sense to take away from that. The only thing that you can do is really give. Like, let's correct the situation. Where did we go wrong here? And let's try to not do that again. And let's get the proper people in place that can help this. And then we can make it and we could develop it into something great.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so pleased that now we have found, like even better ways to do things where, again, like we are able to like open it up to the local community. We're not kicking anybody out. We're not trying to displace everything. I think like, a lot of people, again, kind of start out like I started out, where it's like, oh, like we're going to make the place super fancy and try to do all high luxury and like stuff like that. And on some level, communities don't like that, It's not, that, but if we're taking a place that was basically unlivable, unfinanceable, on the edge of the condemnation list or on it, and we're going in and we're like making it into a beautiful home with LVP flooring and a really nicely redone kitchen and bathrooms and everything.
Yeah.
We're going to, really make it, like set a new bar for the entire neighborhood while still having the price still be accessible for the people that live here in this community.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Setting the bar higher and still making it obtainable, affordable.
Yeah.
And I think that we achieved that on that level with proof of concept with Elm and some of the other projects that we've done in the area.
Yeah.
And that in a whole makes you feel good, right?
Oh, it feels great.
You know you did something good, you know, and then when you get the other people in the community that come by and give you compliments, like, oh man, you guys really did a great job. And then, you know, me, I'm sort of a perfectionist. I'm like, I didn't even do that great. Like, you know, like, oh, I know where I felt like I could have did better.
Well,
but that really like touches your heart when they're like, this is beautiful. This is great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you get the help and support of everybody, the politics, the community, and it just makes you want to do more.
Yeah. Again, people feel it when you're not a jerk.
Yeah.
People feel it when you have a vested interest in the community. You know, I feel like a lot of people who kind of follow me now in my brokerage in Southern California, they don't realize that I was actually born in Ohio, about 40 minutes from here.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, and why don't you kind of tell us about like what your roots are with Cleveland?
So my parents were born in Cleveland. My father was born on Kensman. Mm-hmm. He's from Cleveland. My family has been here. My mother was from Cleveland. She's been here, you know. So this was always a second home. I would come here. I would spend summers with my grandparents. And I really found a love for Cleveland that I didn't know I had because I lived in New York. But the love was like really my roots. All of my immediate family were back here. And when I came here every time, it was just great because I had a bunch of built-in friends, you know, cousins and everybody else that you hang out with.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then, you know, aunts and uncles, nieces, nephews, well, not nieces, nephews, but cousins and stuff. And it was just like a really good feeling when I came here. So when I got here and I started my business,
Which was how long ago? How long have you been here now?
I've been here 3 years, almost 4 years, and I started my business 2.5 years ago. Almost 3 years ago. So it just gave me that feeling again of home, of doing something right, of being where you belong, not feeling like an outsider trying to come in and make change, but more feeling like somebody that's from here trying to like fix something that like I had a tie to.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
You know, this
and to do a thing that, because like a lot of the outsiders are actually scared to do it. Why don't you tell me? You told me a funny story last night about you taking Dulce to a real estate investor meeting. Oh, you know, describe that night to me.
When we first like linked up and we were hanging out, I said, yeah, I go to these real estate meetings of a lot of these investors and it's good networking. And we went there and one of the things was everybody stands up, tells where they're from and what they're looking for, what they want to invest in and this, that, and the other. And one of the people, or a couple of the people were like, yeah, I'll invest anywhere, but just not East Cleveland. And I seen her and her face like changed and she got like, and I was like, oh man. And she got like really like, she had felt offended, you know? So when it was her time to stand up, she stood up and she said, I'm looking to come here and invest and I'm looking for fearless investors. Like basically like she called them chumps and wimps, like you're all scared. And then like everybody in the room felt it. So like, you know, she sat down and then I was just like, oh wow. Like, you know, and then the next guy stand up and he was a like a hard money guy. Like he's like, I'm not scared. I'll invest. I'll put my money anywhere as long as the deal's right, you know, and like everybody else in the room. So it was actually funny, like, and it broke the tension. But a lot of the people that are from here are afraid of investing in this community because the community had a lot of issues.
Right. Yeah.
But I believe that with the proper people in place, we can fix that. And that's it. That's just how I feel.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. No, you know, and it's something where sometimes it requires an outside perspective to be able to look at a neighborhood and imagine what it can turn into, you know? Like I've often found there's actually you would think that you would get the most support from people who are local, but actually people who are local and all kind of like the communities all around it will usually have like very deeply entrenched biases and like stereotypes and things like that for the bad neighborhood. You know, oh, nobody go there. You know, make sure not to get out of your car over there. You're gonna get shot.
They do.
You know what I mean?
They tell you that.
People tell you that.
They give you the warning.
Exactly. Like when I first came here in like 2020, 2021, And that was people where I was like, hey, I want to like check this thing out in East Cleveland. And they're like, no, don't even drive there, you know?
So I experienced the same thing. Like we were at a gas station. I'm in Cleveland. I'm not in East Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland. This guy pulls up and he's panhandling for like money. He's like, hey man, you know, I got this incense and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, I got a guy that I go to in East Cleveland. He's really cool. He's off of Superior. He's like, what part? And I'm telling the part. He's like, oh, you're in the trenches. I'm like, yeah, man, every day. That's like where I'm at. Like, he's like, oh no. He wheels off. And I'm like
the part of town that even the bums are scared to go to.
I'm like, bro, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, exactly. But, you know, it's like, all right, so a little bit about me. I moved to downtown LA when like nobody was moving to downtown LA.
Yeah.
I moved to South LA when like nobody was moving to South LA.
Yeah.
And, I loved, at least when I was like, before having like a wife and a kid and, stuff like that, I was just a single dude, just me and my German shepherds, just like, living in, I don't know, I didn't really care what neighborhood I was in.
Because you had good intentions.
Well, I had good intentions, and I had kind of a vision for how those neighborhoods would kind of change and grow. I wasn't just trying to just completely change the neighborhood. I was trying to love and respect it for what it was. You know, the taco stand on the corner, the soul food restaurant down the street, the fish fry place on my block, you know, like those sorts of things. Like I really wanted everyone to know that I was going to be a good neighbor and a good, like, active part of the community there. And, I think if not for the pandemic, I would still be in that neighborhood and, would have still been part of of that community. But, LA really changed a lot in 2020. My point being that because of the changes that I've seen, and I guess maybe a combination of like the right ways to do it and the wrong ways to do it that I've seen, it's easy for me to come and look at this community and see all the potential in it rather than be like held down or feel myself limited by like 50 years worth of people saying, hey, don't even go there.
Right. But I mean, if you just look at things statistically and you could look at the economic indicators, we've seen this happen time and time again. It happened with Brooklyn. It happened. I'm from a New Yorker, so I'm going to give a lot of New York stats.
Sure,
it happened with Brooklyn. It happened with Harlem. Certain areas, Dumbo. What else? Where it's just many places it would, people shied away from, I don't want to be over here. And then the next thing you know, it's like they're happening a new place to be and it's a lot of money coming in and generating and it's just like, oh well, you could have taken advantage of that before when it
Yeah. And purely from like an economic perspective and just kind of coming back to investing, like when I say the name Compton, Compton like means something. It's like internationally famous because of the music, the music that came out of there, the culture that came out of there, stuff like that. And man, you're lucky to be able to buy a house in Compton for under $1 million now.
1,000%. Yes. When I went to Compton, I was like thinking that it was going to be something like to be scared of, and I better not wear this shirt and I better be careful and let me lock the doors.
Everybody's wearing purple polos like that one, man.
Man, the place is so beautiful and the houses. I'm like, this is Compton. This is what NWA was talking about.
Well, that's not what NWA was talking about. They were talking about something very different, you know what I mean? But yeah, exactly, right?
But like
it's the change really happened. And, and as we kind of talked a little bit about, kind of over the last few days, it's like, it really has to do with like a sense of ownership, a sense of pride, both in like actual ownership and also just sort of like taking ownership or taking responsibility for your community. And, I feel like a lot of the people that were in that whole region of South LA, South Central LA and all stuff like that, they felt that. You could feel it in the streets. Like they took pride in their neighborhoods and their communities. And I see like where it's really rough, where it's really, really difficult, like where it's hard to imagine any potential is when you go to a place and nobody has any hope.
Right.
Nobody takes any pride in themselves or in where they're at or whatever. They have no sense of ownership, no sense of real belonging.
Right.
And that's impossible to deal with. Like realistically, like I can't fix that. You know what I mean? But, and realistically, there are parts of East Cleveland where I do kind of get maybe that feeling of like just a sense of hopelessness, right?
Yeah.
But then I meet some other people where it's like, no, like they have real belief, real faith in it, real sense of no, like this is where I'm planting my flag. This is where I'm going to do something special.
Yeah.
And that's so inspiring. That's the sort of thing that kind of shakes me out of just like looking at just the numbers, and I actually really look at the people and I think, you know what, like this is a community I want to invest in.
And that's where you start. You start with those people. You gather those people, and then once those people, and then when you start a little bit and they start seeing a change, to other people that are observing from outside will then come and pitch in, and they have a little bit of hope. But somebody's got to start it. Somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to say something. And if we keep running away from the problem, you can never fix it. Let's try to hit it head on, call a spade, and move forward.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining us for this really special conversation with Mike Farrington. We are honestly just absolutely blown away by some of the reception we've had so far to the projects that we've done here, some of the investments that we've made, both, again, from a purely numbers perspective, but also like the extent to which it's been a win-win-win for tenants seeking affordable housing, for governments, seeking like the real estate development opportunities and the places where they can sort of subsidize to help these families to live. The community leaders that want to be involved in, again, like I said, like not just renovating a single house, but really restoring the entire city to, where it once was and where it can be again.
Yeah.
And then finally, to the investors as well. I mean, we're seeing returns that are like 3 to 5 times what would be normal in, California, or New York, or, almost anywhere else in the country. So, there's a lot of opportunity here to help. There's a lot of opportunity for growth, for growth, and for everyone to win. And, I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Mike, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Appreciate you. Thank you for the interview.
Awesome. Fantastic. Again, this is Richard Wayland, owner and broker of the Imagination Brokerage. Find us at imaginationbroker.com. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. I mean, we're everywhere now. So anyway, thank you so much, and talk soon.